Achieving the top 500 is a true testament to skill, hard work, and dedication. That is, of course, unless you're just an exploiting scumbag.
Oh god, I'm gonna have diarrhea again.
Over the past few competitive seasons, we've had this big problem of people exploiting the matchmaking system. They've been doing this by queuing during off-peak hours, anytime between 2 a.m. and 8 a.m., which has them matching against gold and platinum players as an easy way to climb up and achieve the rating of top 500. So, I guess congratulations?
Yeah. We did it, you guys. We're totally heroes.
So these are Masters and Grandmasters players, clearly at least above average, but they're getting to their high rankings and achieving top 500 specifically because they're playing against gold and platinum players. And how is this happening, you might ask? Where is the failure that's taking place? Well, because they're playing during times where there just simply aren't a lot of people playing, there aren't other Masters and Grandmasters for them to get matched against. And the way Blizzard's matchmaking system works is that it prioritizes a few things. First, it'll prioritize your ping, your ranking, and your group size. And it focuses on these three as a way to get matchmaking as balanced as possible. However, if you wait long enough, Blizzard eventually just says, fuck it, and matches you with whoever. And this is where we have the current issue. This team, this six-man stack of Master and Grandmaster players, have been continuously queuing at times they know they're not gonna find other Masters and Grandmasters, and in doing so, they're facing up against, once more, Gold and Platinum players, which they're clearly above their level, but they're using the fact that this is an easy way to win a match to climb even higher than they deserve to be. Why do I say that they're climbing higher than they deserve to be? Well, because I've never heard of any of these players. These are players that are just, by all accounts and purposes, random people who are decent at Overwatch, but some of them have a 90% win rate. Let me tell you how absurd a 90% win rate is. Even actual pro players like my boy Seagull, who competes in tournaments and wins prize money and plays against the best people in the world, even he only has a 62% win ratio.
Thank you very much for your time, and we're gonna send it back to the desk right now.
How could this happen to me?
So if these dudes were so good that they've got a 90% win ratio, there's a pretty good chance that I would have heard of them at some point. But the only one of these guys that I've ever heard of was in the Overwatch World Cup playing for Team Brazil, and that didn't go so well.
Meanwhile, oh, wow. All right, well, that didn't work out.
Fortunately, Blizzard has been made aware of this, and it looks like they do plan to do something. Jeff Kaplan came out to say that we are working on this now. Scott is going to post a blog soon explaining some changes. Thanks for the concern. So Blizzard does plan to address this problem and deal with people who are taking advantage of the way matchmaking works, and that's good. What are some things that they could possibly do? Well, I think one of the most obvious things to stop Master and Grandmaster players from getting matched against people in gold, silver, or platinum is to just set a threshold. Make it so that if there's more than a certain amount of SR between people on either team, they simply can't play each other. I mean, as it stands, when you're in the higher ranks, you can't queue up with people who are 1,000 SR lower than you. So why in the Sam hell should you be able to play against people who are over 1,000 SR lower than you? That makes absolutely no sense. So setting a threshold would be a good idea. They can make it so that they just lower the rewards that they get for winning those games, but that really doesn't appear to be enough, because as we can tell right now, they're only getting about 2 points per win. It's just when they get the win streaks that those points get multiplied a bit higher. And that brings us on to the third thing that they could potentially do, and that's just to remove freaking win streaks from the game. People have been asking for this for a long time. Win streaks really end up making it so people, through sheer luck, propel higher than they should. Or loss streaks make it so that, through sheer misfortune, they drop much lower than they should. If you have one bad afternoon or one lucky afternoon, it doesn't mean you should jump an entire rating necessarily. So I don't know that wins and loss streaks really make a lot of sense, and maybe it's something that Blizzard should revisit. And then the final thing, something that we've been asking for a while, those of us who are interested in competitive, is solo queue. Blizzard, please. I know you want to focus on people queuing up in teams. I know that that's an important idea to you, but I'm starting to get the sense that as time goes on, more and more people who actually care about competitive, there's a large volume, a large percentage of us who just play solo for the most part. So maybe maybe consider giving us a solo queue option. There's a lot of ramifications of that system though, and I know it's not anything that's simple, and I know it would cause issues for the people who do queue in groups, namely it'd take them longer to find matches, but I don't know. If there are more people who are queuing solo than there are people who are queuing in groups, should you not appease that larger percentage of your player base? I don't have any hard numbers, but from the matches that I've seen, I get the sense that most people do queue solo, and I'd love to actually know if Blizzard could tell us how that actually pans out. What percentage of your player base is queuing up alone versus queuing up in groups? I'd absolutely love to know. And I'd also just like to say before we wrap up this video, I know we're kind of picking on this group of people, and it's been an issue for quite some time, and it does appear like they are taking advantage of the system, but I don't think punishing them is the real issue. We're just using them to highlight the problem of matchmaking not working as it should during certain times. When groups queue up and there's not enough people playing, there's a huge discrepancy in the people who get matched against each other. But it's not necessarily their fault. Maybe this is simply the only time they can play. Maybe they all work third shift jobs and they get out really early in the morning, and they all happen to have a similar circumstance, and this is just when this group of friends happens to be playing together. It isn't necessarily the case that they're trying to exploit the system. They're just playing at a certain time, and because the matchmaking is busted as all hell, they're getting matched up against who they're matching up against. They're not going out there and picking their opponents. Blizzard's system is picking them for them. So it's on Blizzard's shoulders to fix the problem. All right, everybody, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. You know, this is obviously a problem. How do you think Blizzard should address the issue? Hope you all have a good one, and until next time, I'll see you later.